My name is Dan Brightwell. I'm the chairperson for the Southfield Veterans Commission. We're here today on Wednesday, March the 19th at the Southfield Public Library interviewing Mr. Frank Coutts for the Veterans History Project of the Library of Congress. So Mr. Coutts, could you just give us some background as far as your, and you might want to pronounce your name because I won't mess it up anymore, and then your date and place of birth.
I'm Frank Coutts, C-O-U-T-T-S. It looks like Coutts, so it gets mispronounced. But born in Dearborn, Michigan, lived on Fernie. Fernie is the street that backs up to the Ford Rouge plant. So our backyard was the Ford Rouge. And born there, actually Providence Hospital on the old boulevard, and back to Dearborn, over to Detroit for a while, southwest Detroit, and then back to East Dearborn where primarily I grew up. Had a sister by my first father who was in the military and did some time in the Army of Occupation in Japan. Left me a few souvenirs, a Russian bayonet and a camera that he bought in Japan. This is 1946. And a cribbage game, a Japanese cribbage game that he gave me. Those, that's the only thing my father ever gave me. As far as siblings, several, two sisters and a brother, and none of whom were in the military. Just a timing thing, they were younger and never went in. And grew up in East Dearborn, Fortson High School, high school graduate, first in my family, and did a little time with a apprenticeship program at Ford's. Actually got me an Army deferment, which was kind of fashionable at the time. People were looking for things like that. If you didn't go to Canada or Sweden, you wanted a deferral, and that's what I had for a while. And my fate was I didn't like the factory, and I gave up a deferral. And it wasn't but a matter of minutes that I received a greetings letter. Right after the deferral was waived. No problem. And went into the Army at age 20, which was actually older for the group. In 65 we were kind of ramping up, and you would know better, but we were kind of, as I recall, kind of ramping up for NAM, and the enlistments or the draftees were building and building and building. And but the several years I had the deferment, I didn't partake in that. So at 20 years old when I went in, I was old, or it seemed. I had 17 and 18-year-olds. Drafted, went through the process at Fort Wayne, had my story all straight. I had a bad knee, and which basically got a bunch of laughter from the doctors, and meant nothing, and it was a futile, half-hearted attempt at just whatever. And then, but I was destined to be drafted. I was offered a choice of, and they gave me a choice. I still don't know why. I still don't know if I understood it, but they said, do you want Navy, Marine, or Army? And I said, I don't know. And they said, well, Navy, you go on ships. I said, I get sick. And they said, Marine, you're going to be in NAM. And I don't know. And then they said, well, you're in the Army. I said, yes, sir. So I ended up in the Army, and took a bus ride to Fort Knox, Kentucky. I still remember stopping in Findlay, Ohio at the post house and having my first military food, which was basically paid for by the military at a restaurant. Arrived at Fort Knox, Kentucky at 2 in the morning or whatever, fell out in the company area. Didn't know what to do, very strange, everybody yelling at us, and for the 50th time they asked us, do you have any weapons, any dope, any dirty pictures, anything? And everybody said no, no, no. Then they made us empty our pockets, and they caught a guy with a knife and drug him somewhere and scared the heck out of all of us. So we were pretty good after that. Everybody listened after that. And did 6 weeks of